Hello, you're watching TelecomTV. I'm Guy Daniels and I'm joined by Francois Ozorg, who is VP Business Development at 6Wind. Francois, thanks for joining us on TelecomTV. At Mobile World Congress, 6Wind is going to be showcasing its OpenNFV solutions with HP. Can you tell us more about what you'll be demonstrating?
Yes, that's a very nice opportunity for us to work with HP. We'll be working with actually two teams with HP, the OpenNFV team and the servers team. And we'll be demonstrating different technologies. One is IPsec. We have a turbo IPsec appliance that will be demonstrated by the OpenNFV team. We will show that it's fully integrated with HP NFV Director from a management perspective. We'll be demonstrating interoperability with HP VSR, which is the HP router. So there will be one 6Wind router talking to an HP router, and in the context of the whole HP structure, so that we're trying to demonstrate simplicity of deployment and simplicity of onboarding of 6Wind technology within the whole ecosystem of HP.
And what are you doing with their telco server team?
So for the telco server team, we wanted to push the demonstration a little bit further by demonstrating performance. So on one side we demonstrate the manageability, the ease of configuration, but then to actually demonstrate performance, it requires additional hardware and environment. So we split the demonstration in two let's say flavors. And with the HP server, we're demonstrating both the performance and the options, the deployment options. For example, for IPsec, you might want to have or to leverage hardware accelerators for cryptography. So, for example, Intel Quick Assist technology can be very powerful in making sure that you have the best, let's say, power envelope or the best CPU consumption to reach a certain level of performance. So we can leverage those hardware accelerators. On the other hand, if you want to have the maximum throughput and reach, let's say, 200 gigabit per second of an IPsec, so it might look strange, but you can't use today hardware accelerators to reach 200 gigabit per second. So you do that by software, still leveraging Intel accelerated instructions for cryptography. But we are demonstrating really two different proposals.
I just also want to touch on interoperability and openness. We've talked for a long time about vendor interoperability and ensuring that. How important is it for the service providers to also demonstrate this interoperability and openness and perhaps share best practices with NFV?
Well, interoperability is always a major concern, but in the history of telecom, interoperability has not been that simple. You know, SS7 for the very old fixed line signaling protocols. SS7 has not been really a good citizen in terms of interoperability. Every vendor had its own extensions, but bottom line, we have been able to do phone calls. For mobile, also, we had this problem with Camel for interoperability issues. SIP for telephony over IP. It started simple and became very difficult to, but we managed to get services. So actually, I'm not that much concerned about interoperability on top of NFV. I think that's not the real issue. And the real issue is probably more in the operations. how you detect there is a fault, and how you handle the fault. So imagine someone that thinks there is a problem. It goes to the server and sees that LED is off. So there is something wrong with the cable, but it's physical, you can see it. And for debugging that problem, you may change the cable, you may change this, it's simple. When all is virtual, do we have all the tools to detect that there is a fault? I mean, to have the equivalent of the off LED? Do we have all the methods to actually investigate the problem? It's unsure, and I think the network operators have to push standardization here on operations. I remember a US operator that said, NFV will just make our problems more complex. So I can understand that. And there are a number of things that are done today, but we really need to have more field experience. So this means that the POCs should be involving not the top-notch, I don't know how you pronounce it, the best technicians on the market, the best from the vendor, the best people from the network operator, but just operational people, and simulate a failure, and then is it really manageable? We don't really know yet.
Francois, fascinating. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.